Hello, hello, and shalom. This is Brother Richard with Altruistic Torah Studies, and we have our live stream up, and it is called Let's Reason Together. Okay. And so, generally, everyone or some people are on their lunch break right now, and some tune in, and that's good to go because the bread of life is definitely something to have during lunch break. But you could also have it for your dinner break. All right. You can have the bread of life tonight when you get in, or you can have the bread of life for breakfast. There's nothing wrong with that at all. As a matter of fact, that's a great thing to do. Shalom. Yeah, shalom, sister. How you doing? Yeah, so um another odd thing, other than the fact that the live stream got cut off yesterday at 38 minutes and I don't know, 36 seconds. And I noticed that there was a problem, and Sister Renee let me know there was a problem, and it got cut off. But I kept on talking. It was me and the Father, and I was discussing and meting out the Word in Mathew 24, and so I talked. I kept on doing what I was doing until an hour and 2 minutes later on, and just in case that it came back on. Doing well. Lots of mischief. Yes, lots of mischief. So so the live streams are getting cut off. My live streams are getting taken down, and today, right before the live stream, about an hour almost before the live stream, the power went out. So the only thing I can figure is we must be doing the righteous things. Okay. And I know that we are, because we're only going according to what the word actually says. And once again and continually, we're going to let the word define the word. And that is what we're here today, here to do today in the scroll or the book of Matthew or Matthiyahu. Okay. So, oh, and yeah, and also got a displeased customer as well. The unfortunate thing is that no one said anything on the live chat, and I've got this open. I've got this open for someone to discuss whatever thought process they have, as long as it's a righteous one, and if it has anything to do with a false doctrine, um, don't get hurt. Don't get hurt if I let you know and I tell you and I prove it two to three different ways, two to three different times in the scriptures. Because I tell you, you know, if in fact, if in fact someone does not like the way the word is getting uh, detailed and looked into with loving commitment, like we're doing here on the live stream, then there's a big possibility you're not going to like what the two witnesses have to say when they get here. Okay. And if you're one of those people that don't like what the two witnesses have to say, then there's probably going to be a trouble for you. Okay. So look, let's talk about it. Let me know. Let me know in the comments. If you don't get this till later, let me know on the live stream. I am prepared with the word in every season, and bet on it. Okay. And this is not being prideful or anything. It's the Father's word, and we can read it together, and the Ruach HaKodesh will teach us the living word, because of our heart is for him, and we desire this. Okay. So without putting anything much further away, or putting anything off. Okay, my words are a little twisted. Like I said, I'm a little once again today, but I didn't get attacked last night. I had a fairly good night's rest. Um, but once again, we had a threat of the live stream either coming down or going down, and it may well still get taken off. But that's okay, because I Sister Nicole got in touch with another internet service today that allows us to have at least possibly one more way to do this, just in case it gets taken down, because this is what I desire. This is my life's work, and this is my testimony. Okay. And it's going to happen. It's been happening for a long time, and it's going to continue to happen. I desire relationships with all of you. I want friendships. I want others that want to discuss the word in detail, and be taught by the Ruach HaKodesh. Okay. So Let's arm up. Let's get ready for this. Okay. I'm gonna pray, and if you would like, you can pray along with me, or you can listen, and and all of that's going to work out just fine. Okay. Abba Yahuwah, Father in heaven, first and foremost, I want to thank you for everything that you do for us. Your words are true and just and upright, and I thank you for letting us understand these things. Father, I pray that you arm us, Father, with the whole armor of Elohim. Father, I pray for the helmet of salvation to protect our minds for you. Abba Yahuwah, I pray for the breastplate of righteousness to protect our hearts for you, Father. Abba Yahuwah, I pray for the shield of faith and trust to block the fiery darts and the lies of Satan. Father, I pray for the sword of the word to rightly divide the truth from the lies. Abba Yahuwah, I pray for the belt of truth to strengthen us, gird our loins, and keep us upright, keep our backs straight as we walk along the narrow pathway with the shoes of the good news. And that is that you have offered up the covenant back to us through the death, burial, and resurrection of Messiah, Yahushua. And he came in the flesh to save our souls and to teach us the loving instructions. Okay. And whenever he returns, after he clears the trash, okay, which is very unfortunate, but yet it will go that way. Once he clears all of the problems off of the planet, he is going to rule from this place in Yerushalayim, okay? And he's going to teach everyone the loving instructions, the Torah. And there will not be any doctrinal arguments, because those foolish things will be burned up with the fools that made them up. Do you understand? And that is the truth, okay? So with that, let's go to Mathew chapter 24. And I think, and Sister Nicole Sister Renee reminded me yesterday that I believe we got cut off at 24:29, and that's okay. That's a good spot. Okay. I will bump up maybe to 24:27 just to kind of recap a small amount, but you're more than welcome to go and watch what actually got posted of the live stream yesterday. Okay. And you'll enjoy it. If you love the truth, you're going to love these live streams. Mathew 24:27, it says, "For as the lightning comes from the east and shines to the west, so also shall the coming of the Son of Adam, or the Son of Man, be. For wherever," this is 24:28, "for wherever the body is, there the vultures shall be gathered together." Okay. So whenever the Messiah returns, once again, we're not going to have to go look in the desert for him. He's not going to be in some secret room. He is going to show up in the sky, and the sky is going to rip open, and he's going to be coming in the clouds like the lightning, and there's going to be the shofar blast. Okay. The Tekiah Gadol, I believe, is the word for it. And I don't, I don't remember there's three different sounds, but the Gadol means great. So the sound of the great shofar, the great trumpet, is going to blast. Okay. And no one on the planet is going to wonder if this is the Messiah. Some are going to be ashamed of their behavior. Some are going to be wicked and continue in wickedness, but he has come here to clean things up whenever he returns. And we are going to be those that believe and trust in him and believe every word that he says. We're going to be drawn up into it says air, but it means ruach, spirit, wind, breath. We're going to be given the new bodies at that point. And we're gonna meet him in the spirit, you understand? Because he comes as a spiritual being, because he is. And so are all of the ones that come with him. And he's coming here. He's coming here, and he's going to reign here, and we're going to be with him forever. That's what it says. All right. So that has nothing to do with some false doctrinal thought process of flying away. And if a person doesn't like that, let's talk about this. You prove to me what you're talking about. There's no way that you can, but give it a shot, and then we'll talk about the truth. And then what'll happen is we'll let the word define the word, and then everyone will understand. Okay. No one really wants to not understand these concepts. Everyone just truly wants to know. And people the one thing that I've found out over the years is people just don't like not knowing. Okay. And you'll have a lot of a lot of individuals get offended with others, and it's all about scriptural understanding. Okay, but what we can do is we can agree to disagree with our disagreements, because there's a big possibility that shortly after a fruitful discussion, you might change your mind about some of these cliches and some of these doctrines that I call false doctrines. Okay, and you're absolutely free to come here and let's talk about these things, um, and or post after the fact if you don't make it for your lunch break. Okay, so let's move on to Mathew 24:29. And immediately after the distress, Jacob's trouble, of those days, Jacob's trouble, the sun shall be darkened, and the moon shall not give its light, and the stars shall fall from the heaven, and the powers of the heavens, let me move my little scroll here, and the powers of the heavens shall be shaken. So this is talking about after those days, after the tribulation. And then the sign of the son of Adam, the sign of the Son of Man, shall appear in the heavens. He's coming through the sky. And then all of the tribes of the earth shall mourn. That's all of us. And they shall see the Son of Man, the son of Adam, coming on the clouds of the heavens with power and much esteem, respect, highly respected. For he's done an awesome, awesome thing. The most unselfish act that any man has ever performed. Man 100% and Elohim 100%. And he was able to do it, and so he did. Mathew 24:31. And he shall send his messengers with a great sound of a trumpet. There it is. And they shall gather together his chosen ones from the four winds, from one end of the heavens to the other. That's one of the things that are going to happen. There's something else that's going to happen too. And this is the most important thing. The other thing's a bit more sad. Mathew 24:32. And learn this parable from the fig tree. When its branch has already become tender and put forth leaves, you know that summer is near. So you also, when you know these signs, so you also know when you see all these, know that he is near at the door. He is the door, for that matter. 24:34. Truly I say unto you, because he speaks the truth, this generation shall by no means pass away until all this takes place. So the generation that sees all of these things going on, the actuality of all these things going on, they will not pass this earth until all these things happen, all these prophecies and actions that the Messiah performs and that the earth goes through happens. Okay. And then next it says, Mathew 24:35, the heavens and the earth shall pass away, but my words shall by no means pass away. The word is forever. It is eternal. What we have, the problem that we have, is we have men that want to put their hands into the word and make things up. And I don't care what religion that you say that you're from or anyone else is from, if they take and make their own things up about the word so that they seem self-important, which that seems to be a major problem with a lot of folks. Okay, seeming self-important. The thing is the Messiah's word's important. Your soul is important. Your neighbor's soul is important. Okay, and the people you speak to. So whenever you come and talk to someone about the living word, you have to be telling the truth. You have to take what you think that you know, okay, and put it up against what the truth is, which is what is written, okay? And then you have to take and find out if it meshes. If it doesn't mesh, if it seems uncomfortable to you, then there is a big possibility that the Father is unctioning you and trying to tell you that you need to get on board, okay? He wrote this word. He wrote this word for all of us, okay? And it is for every single one of us to take and give our best offering, our best prayers after repentance, by the way. We don't want to be like Cain, okay? We don't want to go out and speak lies and it murder people. Your words matter, okay? So our offerings have to be clean offerings. We have to be a clean offering. Okay. Messiah has made us clean, but what we do the rest of the way is and I mention this and I'll talk about this every time we come on. There's no doubt about it. The sanctification process. Okay. We have to clean out while we're still here in the flesh. We've received salvation. We trust him. And since we trust him, we keep his words. And as we keep his words, we become this new person. Okay. We become some of us, I don't know. We may not ever get to the point that Moshe got whenever he was still in the flesh, because we are not facing the word to word, face to face, panim, with the Father himself, being taught these words, but yet we have each other and we are the body of Messiah, but we are being transformed as we speak. Okay. This live stream, hey, Shalom, Blackwater MT. This live stream, doing well, just lots of mischief. Yeah. This live stream is that. This live stream is to transform you right now. We are the body of Messiah, and we are the walking, talking, living instructions, and we are the hands and feet. And that's what that means. The hands and feet, people talk about that, but what are we talking about here? We are the loving instructions. Okay. I could go, so I could keep on with that part. But I know that you understand where I'm coming from, or you wouldn't be here. And those that do not understand where I'm coming from, keep coming back. Meet us, meet us at lunch. Meet me. Watch this at dinner. The bread of life is good for all three meals, for crying out loud. So back to it, just real quick, a recap. Mathew 24:35. The heavens and the earth shall pass away. Yeah, because there's going to be a new heavens and a new earth. But my word shall by no means pass away. The words of the loving instructions in the Torah and the Messiah himself are eternal. Mathew 24:36. But concerning that day and the hour, no one knows. Interesting. This is a Hebrew idiom. Not even the messengers of the heavens, but my Father only. Okay. And as the days of Noah, so also shall the coming of the Son of Man be. I'm going to hold off on that. So the Feast of Trumpets, or Yom Teruah, the Day of Trumpets, is also called the day that no man knows the hour. And the reason for that is because it goes over a 2 to 3 day period. And back in Jerusalem, in more ancient times, there would be a witness with a shofar on one end of Jerusalem, and another man on the other side of Jerusalem with a shofar. And one would look up. They would both be watching. We are to be watching for the light. They would watch, and they would spot the sliver of the moon. And when one of them saw the sliver of the moon, whoever saw it first, they would blow the shofar. And then the next one, they would look up, and whenever they saw the sliver of light, they would blow the shofar. Okay. And so these are two witnesses, and they would come together and talk to the Sanhedrin. And now there were other witnesses also used, but those were the direct witnesses. I'm having lots of trouble with this internet today. They were the direct two witnesses. And that was that they spotted the moon. I am Jay Morris, but YouTube now uses the channel name instead of username. Hey, shalom, brother. Okay. All right, good to go. So what we have now, Mathew 24:37. And as the days of Noah, so also shall the coming of the Son of Man be. For as they were in the days before the flood, eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage, until the day that Noah and his family entered the ark. Who Who would have been the ones partying down while Noah and his family were building the ark? Well, I guarantee you, now they were eating, they had to have food and they had to have water, but they're not the ones carrying on like nothing's going on and looking at these individuals that are building this ark. Now, some of us feel like that sometimes, don't we? We feel like we know we're building the ark. We feel like we're building the ark, but yet we have people looking at us like we're crazy. And we get excited about things that the rest of the world doesn't seem to get too excited about. And that's completely okay with me. And it's been that way for a long time. So I guess I've kind of got used to it. But yet it's sad to know that people look at you because you follow what the scriptures say to do, and you believe the scriptures word for word, and they look at you like you're a foreign individual, like you're an alien, which there's no such things, by the way. Those are demons. And they look at you like you're crazy too. It's like whenever you, if in fact you had made the mistakes that I've made in life, people didn't know what to do with you whenever you fixed it. Whenever you let the Father into your heart and decided to do whatever He said to do, and you turned from those other things, no one knew what to do with you anymore when you weren't broken, when you weren't this crazy individual that was the life of the party and in the tip of the spear in foolishness anyway. Okay. But all of a sudden you were crazy all of a sudden because of scriptural obedience. We will keep going, but that is how I would think that they felt about Noah and his family. Okay. Because they were building this ark and no one believed him. The Father did believe though, and told him, and Noah believed the Father, just like Abraham believed the Father and went and done something. Noah believed the Father, him and his family, 8 people, the remnant of that time, they believed him, and so they acted upon something. So Mathew 24:39. And they did not know. Who did not know? Noah knew. They did not know until the flood came and took them all away. So also shall the coming of the Son of Man be. So you're going to get snatched up possibly, but you really don't want to be. You really don't want to be. Okay. Being taken up off the earth in this situation, just like the fools were taken up off the earth and drowned back in the days of Noah when the ark floated up on top of the water. You know, an ark is also a small ark is what carried Moshe. Okay. And not only that, but the Ark of the Covenant. And where is the temple? We are the temple. We are the body of Messiah. The Father lives within us. The word that was in the ark, the word is on our hearts and in our minds. Okay? And in the temple that Satan wants to indwell is you. He wants you to act upon his lies. He wants you to believe his lies, but we don't. Okay. We are the living temple. We are the living stones, and together we are the body of Messiah, and therefore the temple. Okay. Interesting. Yeah. So these people didn't know. Let me see what I got down here. Sister Noah preached to the partiers for 120 years, according to Yasher. Yep. They wanted to listen once the door was closed. Yeah. And the Father closed the door. I mean, and it must have just made a heck of a noise. All of them probably heard it, and you could have probably heard a pin drop afterwards, right? Except for the rain. Yes, we are the ark. Absolutely, brother. And I'm glad to be. And so we have to represent. We have to rightly divide the word whenever we witness to one another. So if in fact you are unsure about something, be careful and met it out with your brothers and pray the Father and let the Ruach teach. Let the Ruach be the teacher instead of some false doctrines, right? Mathew 24:40. Then 2 shall be in the field. The one is taken and the one is left. And one is left, and the one is left. Okay. 2 24:41. Two women shall be grinding at the mill. One is taken and one is left. Watch. 24:42. Mathew 24:42. Watch, therefore, for you do not know what hour your master is coming. Because, like I said, he comes from what we understand in what we call the fall feasts. The fall feasts, and the first one, the first day of the seventh Hebrew month, okay, it's called Yom Teruah, or the Feast of Trumpets, or the Day of the Awakening Blast, the Day of Blowing, and also the day that no man knows the hour. There's you as an individual, whether if you're a woman, you're a daughter to someone. You may well be a sister to someone, and you may well be a mother to someone. You may very well be a wife to someone, just like a man is a son, a husband, and maybe an uncle, all those things. We have different titles. There's different titles for this day, and there's just to get the word out to blast in people's ears. Um, as many ways that it can be done, and it's all the same subject matter. It is the day of the return of the Messiah. And look up, look, watch, shamar, nearly watch, because your redemption draws near. Mathew 24:43. And know this, that if the master of the house had known what hour the thief would come, he would have watched and not allowed his house to be broken into. Mathew 24:44. I'll just say 44:45. Because of this, be ready too, for the son of Adam, the son of man, is coming at an hour when you do not expect him. We don't know the hour, but we do know the day. We just don't know the year. 45. Who then is trustworthy? Yeah, and let's just real quick. A false doctrine says that the Messiah can return at any time. Okay, you just never know. That's not what this is saying. There is an actual high holy day in the scriptures that describes, that is being described right now by the Messiah himself. You either believe the Messiah's testimony or you don't. And if you don't, then you are going to be naked, blind, and very afraid. Okay. All right. So you need to be covered by the Messiah. All right. You need to be covered by the Messiah. And in order to do that, you have to listen to his word, and you have to believe him. Okay. And I don't care. I don't care what your family taught you. I don't care what your friends told you. I don't care what your preacher told you. Bring him on here. That would be good. Okay. Let's talk about these things. There is not some all of a sudden snatching away that we don't understand, because the Father reveals it to his people first. And if you understand what the fall high holy days, and furthermore the spring high holy days, are all about, then you get a beautiful picture of the death, burial, resurrection, which is also a memorable picture, and a bit sad, but certainly the resurrection is beautiful. And we enjoy each other's company. But yet the fall feasts are a time of joy, and a time that we get together, and also that we know Messiah is going to return because he said so. 45. I think I read this already. No, I did not. Okay, so 45. Who then is a trustworthy and wise servant? What makes you trustworthy? Well, if you follow the words of truth, then you are trustworthy. And what makes you wise? The Holy Spirit makes you wise by teaching you the words of truth. So we're talking about the same thing here with this servant. This servant keeps the Torah and the testimony of Messiah, whom his master set over his household to give them food in season. And particularly at this moment in the fall, in the in the in the fall high holy days, okay, in this season and this time period. It's not only talking about like a season like the four seasons, but it's talking about in this time period. Just like the word yom, it's talking about like in this day. It could be talking about in this day right now, but it can also be talking about in this day, like this time period, okay. A lot of people falsely understand some of the scriptures based on understanding Hebrew grammar. Okay, and so if you're worried that that might happen, um, and you don't want to just listen to what a brother has to say, me for one, then by all means, maybe study a little bit and get into it as best you have, as best you can. Okay, 24:36. Blessed. We want the blessings, not the curses. Blessed is that servant whom his master, having come, shall find doing so. Shall doing what? Being trustworthy and wise, okay, and being a servant, for crying out loud. Truly, because he tells the truth, the Messiah always does. Truly, I say to you that he shall set him over all his possessions. That's a blessing. But 48, but if that evil servant says in his heart, my master is delaying his coming, it's like, well, he should have already been here, or he's already been here, or he's not coming, and begins to beat his fellow servants. These are the ones that turn on you in the times of difficulty. Okay, these are the ones that are going to turn you over to the anti-Messiah and the fools. Okay, this is the evil servant. And at one time they might well have understood what the truth was, but it didn't grow in their heart. It didn't grow in their heart. Maybe they came around you for some other reason. Maybe because you looked like security. But even a snake in the water will swim to the first thing that's floating. Do you understand? So you got to be careful. I would know these things. Okay. Um, and okay, so and this evil servant begins to beat his fellow servants because the truth is not in him, and to eat and drink with the drunkards. Who are these drunkards? These drunkards are the people that were ice cold to begin with and did not care. And he will do things with them. And this is what we call a Hellenized Jew. Okay, that's an example of a Hellenized Jew back in the day. Back in the day when the Maccabees were fighting for their lives and fighting to keep the Torah and and to keep the fathers, to make sure that their children would be able to keep the Torah and keep close to the Father and do what He asked. Okay, these were people that were among them, for crying out loud. Nasty. But the book of Maccabees, we will be going over the book of Maccabees. We'll be doing that here because Hanukkah is coming up. And please, no memes from YouTube, or no, I'm sorry, no memes from Facebook about Hanukkah. All right. What we'll do is we'll get the word to define the word, and we'll make sure that there's mention. I'll prove to you that there's mention of Maccabees all throughout the scriptures. Okay, so let's keep the memes to ourselves if we can manage, and maybe just get off a fake book. That'd be great. But if not, that's fine too. So these drunkards, this is the wine of the wrath of fornication that they're drunk on. So these people are fornicating with what and with who? With Satan, for crying out loud, and all the myriad of lies that he's told, because there's only one truth. There's only one Father, Son, Ruach HaKodesh, and they are one, and his name is one, and so is his reputation. So 24:50, the master of that servant shall come on a day when he does not expect it, and at an hour he does not know. So the evil servants are not going to know. The evil servants are not going to know. Not the people of the Father, not the people that the Father loves and has revealed the Son's testimony as to actually who he is and what he's about. We know. We know that fall high holy days, we are waiting, watching for him. We're watching for him to return. Okay. So, so even though this individual is evil and wicked, and the drunkards along with him, the Father is still the master of this individual, because the Father is master of all. Claim what you want. Okay. Some of you are going to be doing some really wicked crap here shortly, celebrating Halloween. Halloween. All right. And that's filth. All right. But the thing of it all is the Father is still in control of everything. He's temporarily given Satan control of this place so that there will be the division between the left and the right, the wheat and the tars, right? Righteous and the wrong, okay? The blessings and the curses, okay? That's what this is all about. That's what the 6,000 years of mankind is. It is a test for every being that will be placed on this earth. So he is the master of all. And he's going to come whenever this wicked servant, at an hour he has no idea, he doesn't know. And in 2051 shall cut him into two and appoint him his portion with the hypocrites. There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth. Why hypocrites? Why with the drunkards and the filth? Because you turned your back on the Father in a time of difficulty whenever you should have, even though your body, your mind, your emotions are screaming to run the other way. You have to defy that, and you have to turn to the Father. Okay. Let's see. I have a disagreement with fellow believers lately about the word forever in all your generations. There's no disagreement there. I believe it means forever throughout time, but they're saying that it does not mean that. Well, brother, I agree. I agree with what you're talking about, at least from what I understand in the context that you're saying it. And if you've also, yeah, it means forever, and always, okay, because maybe I don't know. I'm not sure the context of what the conversation is, so I'm careful to comment on things that I haven't been standing right there with you for. But I will tell you this much: forever means forever, and I agree with that 100%. Okay, and so know that it sounds like that me and you agree on this. I was hoping so. Keeping longer than me. Longer doesn't mean anything. Okay, someone keeping the word longer than you means it means a little bit, but yet what means something is seeking the truth instead of planting your feet. Listen to this. Do not plant your feet. Okay. Plant your feet in the knowledge of the Father knows everything. The Messiah is the living word, and the Ruach HaKodesh is the teacher. But if you end up with some sort of a doctrinal thought process and you plant your feet in that, you are going to get pushed over. Promise. Okay. So as long as you're in the word, and as long as you're pliable for the truth and what the word actually means when it defines itself, not based on someone's opinion, because that's what that is, someone's opinion that the word is not forever. It is forever. Okay. And that is my opinion. And that is what I was given by the Father through the Ruach HaKodesh. So what we've done here is we finished up Mathew 24. Okay. This was the last half, 29 to 51. And the reason for it is because I got kicked off my live stream yesterday, and I may well get kicked off again today, because I don't think Satan likes what we're doing here. And so let's keep doing it. Okay. Not only let's keep doing it, but please, by all means, invite other people to come to this live stream and discuss whatever they want to discuss as far as scriptural concepts goes, based on what we're reading. Okay. And or pose a question. And if we don't get to it this time, I will write it down on this little spiral notebook. I've got a pen handy, and we will address what it is. But now let's address some of what Mathew 24 was talking about. And maybe this, and I'm not going to even name these false doctrines, because they don't deserve a name. It doesn't matter. They will not exist in the kingdom. Let's just let the word define the word. So, in reference to, in my opinion, and also the opinion of Proverbs, what Mattityahu is talking about here in the very words of the Messiah, Proverbs 2. Proverbs 2, verse 21. For the straight, which is the upright and the just, shall dwell in the earth, and the perfect be left in it. Perfect in who? Perfect in Messiah. Proverbs 2, verse 22. But the wrong, the sinful, the wicked, the fools, and there's more words for that, shall be cut off from the earth. And the treacherous ones, the wicked ones, plucked out of it. You know, we're all going to be taken somewhere, right? I want to be taken up into the spirit. I want the new body. I want to be told, I crave the Father to tell me, well done, faithful servant. I crave that deeply. And there's no one that knows me that doesn't believe that. And that will continue until I pass this earth. I made a vow to the Father, and I'm keeping it. Okay. But this right here, the treacherous are going to be plucked up. They're going to be plucked out, and they're going to be burned. And that's what's going to happen. And so will all the false doctrines that go with them. All right. Including the ones that talk about the Messiah's reputation as if he is a lawless son. Messiah is not the lawless son. He is obedient and loving. And he came here to teach obedience. Okay. Loving obedience. Because what household can you be in unless you're a bit love is strong. And if you're in an unloving household, then you may very well have limp-wristed rules in your house. But yet, here's the thing: the Father's house has certain rules, and they're strong, and they're love. And the obedient son, he came and taught the rules of the household because he wants all of us to be able to be in there. Okay, we all want to be in the house that are keeping the Torah and the testimony of Messiah, which is to keep the Torah, the loving instructions. Okay, the whole word stands. It stands the test of time, and it will be forever and ever. Okay, that's pretty much it for today. It's gone 42 minutes. I apologize for having to take down the 11 o'clock one. Not that a whole lot of people will be here for their lunch break, but yet the bread of life is good for lunch. So come on. And I'm doing this for people that are also on their lunch breaks, but yet show up anytime and post questions or make statements, and maybe smash the like button. Give me a thumbs up and share with your friends, because we can met this out together. We can talk about these things. This is something I enjoy greatly. Let's see, Janet, nice to see you. Bless you and your loved ones. Take care, all of you. Okay, well, that's nice. Thank you, Janet. That's what, okay, Blackwater MT. That's what I have gotten from the reading the word. Awesome. I don't feel that I'm breaking the Torah for keeping the feast days. No, as a remembrance and teaching time for my family from the Bible, from the scriptures. Absolutely. If someone's telling you shouldn't be keeping the high holy days, then it's best you surround yourself with somebody else. And simply put, the bad rubs off on the good a lot of times. And back in the day, yeah, many years ago, a good 26-ish years ago, I believe, whenever I first started to be convicted to keep the Torah, the first thing that I decided to do was to implement the Sabbath in my household. And I'm going to tell you something. Great uncle so-and-so out of nowhere that you've never heard or seen from your families or your spouse's family, they will come out of the woodwork with all the cliches and all the laminated cards and all the false doctrines, and tell you 10 kinds of crap to try to destroy your witness. Okay, maybe, and if you were in my situation, to destroy your witness with your spouse possibly, and your children, and maybe anyone around you also. Satan will send people, and he will send them with the most foolish crap to try to destroy things. Cool thing is great uncle so and so. I actually convicted him with the false days, the false holy days. Okay, and I introduced him to the spring feasts, the spring high holy days in the scriptures, and also Shavuot, or some people know it as Pentecost, and then also the fall high holy days. Okay, I introduced him to that through him trying to destroy my move towards the Father's word. Then no one's going to do that. No one can do that. No one can do that to you. No one can do it to me. Okay. So false doctrines come up against the truth. It's like they hit a wall. Yeah, you like that? They smash into a wall, and you keep doing what the Father tells you to do. You are not, no one is doing a sacrificial lamb on Passover. You would maybe have lamb based on the fact that it's part of the Passover. Messiah is the Passover lamb. This is just a representation. You're not doing a sacrifice for sin or anything like that. Okay. And so therefore keep the feasts. We're supposed to, and we will in the kingdom. Let me say something. If we did it at this point, if our forefathers did it at this point, and the Feast of Tabernacles is written, listed in the book of Revelation, which is the testimony of Messiah, because he gave that to John, he spoke it to John, and it's going to be in the kingdom, then what happened in between? Satan's lies. That's what happened in between. Okay. So we do not listen to anyone instructing us with the wide pathway. Okay, we stay on the narrow pathway, and we help one another. I got to meet you at ATS 2022 and could tell that you were serious about your walk. Well, bless you, brother. Yeah, Arming the Saints 2022. Absolutely. Yeah. That was I love my brothers and sisters. I, lo- I love being able to discuss the word with fellow believers, and I want to introduce anyone that is hungry for the bread of life and the living water. Okay, because without that, without actually talking about the word and expounding upon it based on the word, defining the word, without doing that, you are starving people. A person would be starving people with a false doctrine, poisoning them actually, because that is also wormwood. All right. It's from Satan's mouth, false doctrines. And it's not the living water. It is the wormwood, is poison. Okay. So there's also an understanding of that scripture. And we will absolutely talk about that. All right. We're rolling up on 47, 48 minutes, and I have had a freaking blast. You guys are awesome. Okay. I don't have a giant group of people here right now, but the ones that count are here, and the ones that will also count later on, they'll be here later. Everyone, smash the button, share with someone. Let's grow this small, live stream, this community, this ever growing community, so that we can get together and study the word either live or later on in the evening. Sister Nicole and I, we are going to be doing a live stream together. She is so awesome. We're going to be doing a live stream together on Saturday evenings, going towards the end of Shabbat into the evening itself. Okay. That way, maybe some people would enjoy that a little bit more. It's kind of a couples based thing, yet if you're single, come on, it's okay. And if you're not married, it's okay. If you have a person that you have of interest, come ask questions. Let's talk about things. Let's rightly divide the word. Okay. All right. Once again, I love every single one of you, and I thank you for coming out. We're going to continue to do this, even though my live streams are getting cut off and they're getting erased, and my internet is freakishly going out. We are not going to stop ever. Okay. I look forward to seeing you again, and I'm going to pray for every single one of you, and pray for me as well. Father, first and foremost, I want to thank you for everything that you've done for us. Father, thank you for showing us your word. Thank you for indwelling us with the Ruach HaKodesh and allowing us to speak to others and each other in and gather together. Father, I ask that you bless every single one in earshot of this prayer, Father, everyone that's on here live and everyone that will be on here later on, so that they receive this word and it's meant for all of us. And I'm very thankful. Father, I pray that you guide our intentions. Father, I pray that you guide our thoughts. Father, I pray that you guide our emotions and our words. And I pray that you guide our actions. And I pray that all five of these things are guided only according to the living word, your Torah, the testimony of Messiah, Father. And with that, we can move on, Father, with the whole armor of Elohim. Okay. All right. I love every single one of you. And thank you for coming out. And I will see you again, Abba Yahuwah willing, tomorrow at 11 a.m. and or whatever time that you watch this live stream. All right. Goodbye and shalom.